His now the sweater on.
Okay, buddy, this is, and what is the problem here? I can't access my Facebook page. Am I going the wrong one? Hold on. Dang it. Okay. Abnormal Alabama. That should not be a problem. Why can't I access it? Well, it's on YouTube. I'm gonna do it just on my regular Facebook page, I guess. And you can share it if somebody will.
I will. I'll go share it to all the.
Up here. We're on right
All
here.
right, we're on.
We're live.
I'm
live?
live.
All right. We got our sweaters on because it turned winter time here in
Yes.
Alabama.
36
And,
degrees.
Here are the Three Stooges,
30 stooges.
Larry, Curly, and Mo. Because Curly was balding.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got the black hair, so you be Mo.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta be Larry.
Is that the frizzy hair?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I
All right.
always knew who Curly was. but-
Welcome to Abnormal Alabama, and we're streaming. And if somebody gets on here and shares this with them, I don't know why it wouldn't let me stream to Abnormal Alabama on Facebook. Which gave me a bit of a problem for some reason, so I don't know why.
Damn
It's
ass.
a ghost.
But anyway, somebody will share this in many different places.
I know what it is. I know what it is. It's Harry.
Harry.
Oh.
So is that why you slept so much? Did you go to bed and go, okay?
No, I didn't even.
We
think
got
about
some
it.
stories to share, and I don't know if you saw any of our videos that I put out from Saturday's adventure. But we did the Walking Dead thing, and we had to beat off this one zombie girl who was vomiting out of her mouth some intestine-like stuff. And he tried to kiss her and give her time.
I wouldn't go near that.
But we had a good time.
Yes, we did. It was fun.
And then Cherie, she's got even more dolls than he's got. And then, of course, this little con man comes home with 2 more dolls.
One I had paid for, another.
He bought one. The other one is like, this dog's calling out to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask you for it or anything, but it's my birthday.
I just got told to stop moving because somebody got notifications every time I moved.
Say what?
My mother said, I get notifications every time you move.
Oh,
Stop. Where in the world were you going?
It's a new kind of butt
oh
I
my
guess
goodness.
dial.
So anyway, we've already got one. I probably heard watching this, I guess, here. Videos.
Hurry up, I'm gonna turn y'all down.
Let me share it on mine. And then
Oh, yeah, and then Abnormal Alabama shared over there too, because I don't know why it wouldn't let me stream over there. But anyway, we are streaming now. Welcome to Abnormal Alabama. This is the haunted doll. Well, we always talk about haunted dolls.
Yeah, we did.
And if you don't like the term haunted dolls, you could say that they are doll enthusiasts. How's that?
Yeah.
They like dolls. And some of them are purported to do things that dolls shouldn't be doing. Yeah. So you can see more about that by going to myhauntedDolls.xxx, run by Kevin K.
Yeah. MyHauntedDolls.com. What was the XXX?
The adult version.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about and this is going to be a little shorter because where they're allowing us to use this room, we need to clear out a little bit early because they lock up at 10 and we're making them behind. So they were courteous enough to allow us this. So that means we're going to do this till about 8:30 and then wrap it up. Plus, birthday boy here is still exhausted from the weekend. Did you say something?
I said they closed at 9,
Oh, okay. We're going to stay till
8:30.
8:30. Okay.
8:30.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get this done, and we want to talk a little bit about our Saturday adventure.
Yeah, that was a fun adventure.
So tell us about your friend Cherie, which I guess we could almost call her our friend too, huh?
Yeah.
So,
I got to know her. Let's see, I started collecting haunted artifacts and dolls and things back in 2013, and it wasn't long after that I met her on Creepy Dolls and Paranormal Experience, which she still runs. And it was, I guess, a smaller group back then. Now there's probably several thousand out there that have joined.
on Creepy Dolls,
Yeah.
over 3,500.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I got to know her. She was one of the people I messaged, I believe, about, hey, I have a haunted doll. What are some of the things I should the do's and don'ts? And I joined her group to get to know those people. And then I first met her in person when she used to do creepy doll parties each year.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't been able to do one in a couple of years, but I want to say it was 2014 or 15 at the latest that I met her. So it's been at least 5 or 6 years I've known her. And went out there, and when I walked in that house, I had seen photos of the room, and I'd seen her on that Training War show before I went. It aired just a month or two before I went and saw her at the Creepy Doll party. And just walking in there was just, and you probably know what I'm talking about. You're just overwhelmed with all this. Just like a mountain of dolls on each wall.
Well, you start out when you enter her house from the door she let us into. It's kind of like a den.
Yeah.
And immediately, it's not overwhelming amount of dolls, but there's still dolls everywhere.
There's a few cases.
Compared to the average person. Even that. Yeah. And the one doll to the right, the TV, is one that is said to come alive.
Yeah, that's the one's been all over YouTube on top 10 dolls, haunted dolls caught moving.
Yeah.
And she was just filming in her, she wasn't real close to her, she was away filming, and when she panned over, the hand had gone up and then dropped.
Yeah.
And there's nobody near it to be able to, reach over and do that. And you couldn't do it with strings that had dolls in front of it. And there's no way to do that knocking dolls over it. I believe that did it on its own.
So you go from that room, which has a lot of dolls in it, and then you go to the kitchen. Not really anything in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a little hallway, little nook there. And then you go in another room, it's almost like another den, maybe a bonus room or something. It's got dolls.
Yep.
And then you go back to where Mr. Piggy lives back there. She got a pet pig. It's not Arnold. What is she called?
Lollipop.
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 So when she told us that, in my mind, the whole time we're there, going, Lollipop.
Yeah, I was saying.
Couldn't get off that mind. She opens this door to the room on the right. And it's like stepping into the Twilight Zone. Do. You talking about, you got to go to Abnormal Alabama on YouTube, where I am streaming this, by the way, and look at that video. It is overwhelming. And I tell you what, she was cooking and these guys were somewhere else. I was in there alone. I took my time to use my camera and pan around there. I said, okay, I'll get every doll in here. And then still throughout the afternoon, I didn't notice that one. And I didn't notice that one. It's just like overwhelming amount of dolls.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new clown she got.
I wish
He's
I had that.
pretty.
I love that clown doll.
So be careful, Cherie. The clown is calling out to her.
She's not going to far with that one.
But-
For a long time, anyway.
A lot of interesting stories. And you told me, slept in that room before, more than one night.
Yeah, I went down 2 trips. I got in there, spent multiple nights. I think 3 or 4 years. Well, 3 years ago, I went and spent 3 nights and slept in that room. There's always something. You'll hear movement in the room as you're laying there in the dark. You'll feel something brush against you, or one of the times I felt a little pinch on my leg and didn't know. I said, "Is something about me, or did I get pinched?" And I went up to go check it. This was on the second visit, 2018. I spent 3 nights there. And I think that's the night we did the EVP session and some spirit box and K2, and she called it mist and orbs and things. And that night I showered in that guest shower and slid the sliding glass door closed. And it was closed when I went to bed and woke up when I felt that pinch at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I went in there to look at, make sure it wasn't something like an insect bite or something. There wasn't nothing there. And but I look over and I see the sliding glass door is open. It slid open on the shower. And I thought maybe Sheree had gone in there later after I went to bed and opened it, because sometimes she used to leave the door open. I guess the dogs would go in there. I thought maybe she left it open for them to get in there. I don't know. That would be unusual, but who knows. But next morning I went to bed, slept okay, woke up the next morning and asked her about it. She said she had not been down. After she went upstairs, she stayed upstairs. And there's nobody down there. Her husband worked nights. He was at the airport. The girls, her 2 daughters, were in bed already. So nobody was down there but me. And I thought, well, nobody, alive.
You were talking about that mist, and when we were standing there, I was live streaming on my phone, and up there were those Jack skeleton figures.
No, it is Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, okay. So I was panning around, and over here where there's no windows, and the light is in the center. It's not like there's a light here, but right in the corner where this Beetlejuice stuff was hanging up there was real foggy looking.
There's a story with that one. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want to go ahead?
Yeah.
One of those Beetlejuice dolls, I don't remember which one. I should have asked her while we were there, but one of those hanging up there, a lady sent to her, brought it to her because she had bought it at probably one of those thrift stores or somewhere. And thought, oh, cool, a Beetlejuice doll. Got it home, and she started having scratching and pinching, and I think one point she felt like she was bitten, but there was nothing there, and things like that. And she thought, something nasty with this doll, because it didn't happen until it came in. And she knew Sheree. That's why her mind clicked to, I better get this thing checked out. She took it to Sheree, and Sheree sensed that there was something very negative attached to it. So she blessed the doll and, and did what she does with the holy oil and got rid of it. But the lady still didn't want to take it back. She said, you keep it. So Sheree said she hasn't had any problems with it, but that might be what causes that mist in there, is that some of that energy left behind.
Well, while we're in that room, and she's kept doing an interview with us, and then somebody came to the door, she had to leave.
Yeah.
And then like a minute after she left, some music started playing.
Yeah. It was real pretty, like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Never heard that music before anywhere.
And I had heard it, 30 minutes prior. We were sitting in that
The same
TV room, the
conversation?
same thing when y'all were doing I thought it was just chime off on your phones.
Huh.
So I didn't pay attention. We were sitting there and heard it. I heard, you heard it that time. I heard it again. I remembered my first visit to Sheree at that creepy doll party she held. I put a little voice recorder in there in the room and left while nobody was in there. We went back to check it an hour or so later, and I listened to it, and there was music. I think it was the same kind of music was on there. Nothing else, no other sound, just it played for, 3 or 4 seconds and stopped.
Well, very interesting time we had there, and I don't know if Sheree's watching this or not, but she is quite the hostess. She makes you feel right at home and just very comfortable. And a animal lover, I think 2 or 3 dogs. 3 dogs.
She's got, 4. There's 2
4
chihuahuas and 2 pugs. And she's got at least 3 cats. 2 of them are downstairs, and there's that black one that stays upstairs. She had more dogs and cats, but a few of them have passed away now.
And a freaking huge
And
ass
a
pig.
huge pig, lollipop.
And it was well
It
behaved.
was.
Well, it wouldn't come around. I walked over there and I said, come on, it followed me, but it was scared of y'all. I don't know, it didn't like you.
Yeah, it finally came. After I fed it a carrot, it finally didn't get
Oh,
scared.
yeah. Food.
And and it let me kind of.
Well, I can understand why I was apprehensive, because she was in there like cooking bacon. It's like,
Yeah, but
you think
that,
I'm gonna come out?
It was turkey and
That
soy.
they didn't know, it smelled just like bacon. Like,
It smelled just like.
that could be my cousin.
you know,
I'm a friend.
I tried a piece of soy bacon for the first time. It was
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a lot healthier for you than bacon.
It does taste good.
Normal people. But
Well, a lollipop would say.
yeah, I'd rather, I mean, honestly,
If she
though,
had a pet pig, she'd call it pork chop.
probably so.
I knew a lady at my church that had 2 pigs. And when they get pigs, they don't keep them long, if you know what I mean. And these 2, when I saw them, she named them Jim and Nick. Jim and Nick's. This one's Jim, this one's Nick.
Oh, man.
And then I guess a few months later, they weren't out there in the pew anymore. My nephew said, "Where did Jim and Nick's go?" She goes, "Well, we moved them to the basement." Kind of winked in. That's where their freezer was.
We got hungry.
But that was for Jim and Nick's.
Yeah. If you have any chickens, you just call it
The Colonel or Popeye.
Popeyes or
I had-
Chick-fil-A.
Bojangles.
We had chickens and one of them's name was Bacon. The chicken's name was Bacon.
Well, I remember I went to a flea market years ago, and I never thought about this before. This guy had this real nice wood carving of a pig humping another pig, and the artwork was called "Making Bacon."
Bacon.
Making bacon.
Okay. So anyway, let's get back. You know I get nasty and dirty. and cold.
Hey, you're the one talking about the making bacon.
My only dog's
You
not
know.
XXX. Jaw porn. What about the
Oh,
beach?
no,
That wasn't prepared for that. The Barbie beach.
No, I think I remember now. They were asking me the last time, did you see that? I forgot all about it.
And it
So
all,
you saw it.
I did a little video about that, but that's for adults only because all the Barbie Kens are naked.
They're naked.
Naked, they're laying on the beach.
Just naked.
Ken's
Naked.
standing there with everything showing right in your face.
Oh,
There's one Barbie doll, she's got her legs spread. She's like, ooh.
they're woo-haws and wahoos all over.
But I did a little research.
Research.
I did a little research. Before I made that video, I did a little research on it. See,
You got me tickled.
but they change it up. They don't leave it, the scene you saw, the next time you go there, they want to change the scene. you know?
Yeah.
So fascinating, that kind of stuff is what I like when I travel. I keep my eyes open, quirky, roadside, folk art kind of stuff, so.
Yeah.
So I did a little video, I made him turn around, I said, Kevin, you gotta go back. He said, what did you see what I saw? You got to turn it around.
It's okay.
And very glad he did. So we were with Carl going to a ham fest up northeast of here, and on the way there, there's a big billboard sign advertising for some plumbing company, and they had a toilet mounted to the billboard. So we had to get a picture of that too.
And then somebody they were dunking somebody's head.
Yeah, their feet sticking out of the toilet. Yeah. So interesting, strange, quirky stuff. That's kind of what we're after. That's why we're hanging with you.
Yeah.
It's strange. But she has hundreds of dolls. And I asked her, particularly, it's like, how many dolls do you take this house? No way, no way. Because what prompts her to say, I'm going to adopt this doll out? What motivates her? She got all these dolls, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't want this one anymore. Why? Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
How do I know why?
Yeah. Why she'll just decide to say, I don't want this one anymore.
I don't
I
think
guess if she feels like they're ready to move on, she'll do it. It helps to make room for her.
Yeah.
For more.
Because the one she gave you, the bigger doll, she had already, before she gave it to you, she'd already said that she was trying to adopt it out. So that's when I knew it's calling out to me.
Well, nobody else. I remember saying it, and maybe that's why.
Was that Marcy?
Marcy is her
Marcy,
name.
okay. And the other one's Mary.
Mary,
Marcy
yeah,
is Mary.
little Mary.
I'm getting too familiar with this stuff.
do you
And
know
this
this
one
one's
is-
name?
Silly?
Silly Sarah.
I suppose. Okay, we can go back to this subject, and I forgot that he did bring a doll and a history of this Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah.
Sarah's.
And the big golden curls and the little flower on top of her
There's another
head.
one of those Goldilocks little girls. She
Yeah.
got some fuzz.
And this one came across the ocean. Uh-oh.
Is that
Yeah,
cat?
she's got one of those dresses that'll pick up.
The velvet,
Yeah.
everything.
Uh-huh.
So what is the history with Sarah?
She came all the way from Edinburgh, Scotland. My friend.
Is she a Scottish girl?
Yeah, she's Scottish.
I'm sorry, this is bothering me with her feet.
Oh, it's hanging. I couldn't see. It's hanging.
When their
off
feet
there.
hang off the
Yeah, her feet, dang it, looks like it's gonna
Yeah. Well,
hurt her neck or something.
oh, there we go. It's.
That's
My
typical.
friend. Oh, is it still?
It's just the way he's holding.
Well, this board is real slick.
Yeah, it's trying to lift. There we go. Raise it a
Poor,
little.
poor,
That should
poor
help.
thing's gonna fall down.
There we go. My friend Claire out in Scotland let me adopt her out of her collection. She's got probably 100 dolls. She's keeps her small. But little Sarah, she picked up there in Scotland. And the spirit of Sarah is said to be around 7 years old. And this is all what Claire was able to pick up in her spirit box sessions. Sarah was kidnapped by an unknown man. And when I've hung around Sarah, she tells me he was ugly. But she doesn't know who he was. Just an ugly man who took her from her family. And she was presumed murdered, but they never found her. Her body was never found, so I feel sorry for her family. I don't think she owned the doll. She might have chosen it because it looked a lot like her, but she seems attached to this doll. And but she seems to be a happy girl, kind of quiet and shy, but happy. And I know when I first looked at her picture, I mean, you could feel the energy off of her. I can kind of get it right now while I'm holding her. But Claire used to talk about that. There's a lot of energy with her. But her cat, she has a couple of cats, and they loved Sarah. They would climb around her when Claire brought her down and lay next to her like my cat does with a lot of my dolls.
So how long have you had Sarah?
Hadn't been too long, maybe 2 years. When Claire moved for a little while, she got married and pregnant. And they married and baby back to back, and they moved to London for a little while, and now they're back in Edinburgh. But when she moved to London, she had to clear out some dolls, and she hated it, but she felt good sending, the people that she knew would take care of me and a few others.
What? Go ahead, you're still not through your story.
Well, that was about it. She felt comfortable sending, the doll party with them as long as they went to me and a few other people she knew would take care of them. And but Sarah's been pretty quiet with me, and she stays in that doll room. I normally keep the door locked so Maddie won't get in the cat and get in there and tear stuff up. That you didn't get to see the dollhouse. It's in there, and that's the big
No,
thing.
you
She'll
wouldn't-
climb in that dollhouse.
Kind of kept me away from certain areas.
Oh, I didn't need to. I should have because Maddie hid. I was afraid she'd dart in there and it'd take forever to get her out. We're trying to leave.
So you've been doing this for, you said, I think 5 or 6 years. You got into the dolls.
Almost 7. It was spring of 2013 when I met and adopted Patty, my first
So
doll.
when you first got into this, did you realize it was such a big thing worldwide with collectors and whatnot?
I didn't really hear a lot about it. Now, not long after the Conjuring movie came out, when people were reminded of Annabelle, boom, the interest kicked up again. But before that, I'd already started collecting.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize, I didn't know there were Facebook groups of people collecting haunted items. I didn't know that it was actually a big yet hidden interest out there. So I don't know if anybody, well, there's a few here. Look, there's a girl that was also in the newspaper, collects a lot of haunted items. I don't know where she is, but her boyfriend had a run-in with one of the dolls.
Around here.
I want to say, not here in Chelsea, but somewhere, maybe more west of Alabama. I can't remember what city. I think I talked to her one time. She messaged me on my side. Oh, I do that too. And it wasn't long after they talked about her, they came to me and the Birmingham News did a write-up on me too.
This guy has been even in Playboy.
Yeah,
And,
a Playboy article,
yeah.
not naked.
Fortunately, he didn't show
Yeah,
his nipples or anything, so.
yeah, they want, that's, they do the women in Playboy.
So it is a big thing worldwide. It just
It
amazed
is.
me. And,
Yeah, Australia, Europe, China. In fact, is it Japan or China that now have it where you can buy a seat on their flights for your doll to sit with you. One of the flights has started because it's such a big thing in Japan. They start letting people, you can book a seat for your doll, your haunted
Okay.
doll.
Really?
Yeah, I read about that a year or two ago, and it blew my mind.
so, on top of all this, of course, you've written these books, and one of them's the audio book. Did you hear anything about your other one that you recorded?
No, I went back and edited it last. Worked on a little each day, and then Friday dove into it, got it done, and resubmitted. I think it'll be okay now. But I got to probably wait another 2 or 3 weeks for them to come, back through the
Yeah.
process.
You had to edit out your.
Yeah, there's too much time. I thought they wanted at least 2 or 3 seconds. Like when you start recording, give it 2 or 3 seconds, and then start talking.
Mhm.
And he came back and said, no, maybe half a second.
Oh,
So that's
in other
where you
words,
gotta
you waited
use-
too long.
You got to use Audacity. You can zoom in there on that audio
Mhm.
and clip out stuff.
Same way you do a video.
Yeah. So I've learned Audacity now.
Well, this is amazing. His 11 books you can find at myhauntedolls.com. Make sure you join him on My Haunted Dolls on YouTube. We had a slew of new people joining our Normal Alabama on Facebook. So that anytime that happens, I make sure I throw this stuff out there again to say, hey, come and join us over here too. So hopefully you got some new subscribers. I don't know if you checked yet.
I had somebody today subscribe.
Because I mean, that was just yesterday, just bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Yesterday, a few days ago, we had a subscriber.
So we had a great time Saturday, and I'm not used to being driven around, but he was my chauffeur all day, and it was quite pleasurable to sit back and enjoy the ride.
A little bit of Cherie there when we went to.
Yeah, Cherie drove. Yeah.
So we could get the full. So I knew she would know, where stuff was better than I would.
Well, you've got a good collection. She has a great collection.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
I may have half of the amount that she
Well,
had. I may have 300 and something.
part of it is she's got a lot more room for her stuff
Yeah.
than you do. But I mean, just that one room is like, God almighty. How many dolls would you think is in that one room?
I don't know. Maybe
I mean, she's got something
at
at
least
least
800 or 900. I don't know. Yeah, some are tiny and some are life-size, child life-size.
And the little fragrance dolls and the little
Yeah,
things.
fragrance dolls. She's taking me around showing me some of that. And she was telling me about. I remember her
Mhm.
showing those to me with the fragrance.
I mean,
The
it's-
big pie
oh, no.
dolls.
And then you really look around, she's got some ventriloquist dolls.
Uh-huh.
And then she's got the marionette puppet dolls on a string, one of those I
Yeah.
saw. About every kind of freaking doll you think of. And then she's got that stinking clown. That's a big clown.
That big tall clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right there where you walk in that side door.
One of the first things you see is a big
Yeah, he's
clown.
right there smiling.
Now,
I
she's
love that dog.
in that little room, I don't know if that's the bathroom or not, the little room there, she's got her little workroom is loaded with clown dolls.
Yes. Yeah, it's really creepy when you're sitting in there and the door's just cracked up. You can see their little faces in there in the shadows.
Uh,
I love that stuff. It doesn't, like I said, I slept in there multiple nights, so
well,
the bed's comfy too.
interesting thing is that she had caught on a EVP or a spirit box.
Spirit box.
You're right. You caught on. Testing you. Nick.
Yeah,
And so anyway, yesterday I think it was, Cherie did a video of her going through there trying to catch something. I know, did you listen to that whole video?
I saw some. I'll go back.
Did
and
she
watch
catch
it.
anything?
No, a bunch of orbs.
Yeah, I saw the orbs, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
she posted a couple of
Did you already
videos out
order?
there.
okay.
Yeah, her name is her YouTube is also Cherie Sheen.
Cherie.
I wasn't sure how to pronounce that last name.
Cherie.
Yes, Sheen.
Sherry Shoot.
Cherie Shoe.
That sounds like a 60s song. Sherry Shoot. Sherry
I was
Shoot.
thinking more Cherie when I.
Yeah, unbelievable. And just, you could sit in that room for 24 hours and never get the story of all these dolls. Now, a lot of them, she's got this little beaded armband on with their names. I guess.
Yeah, she puts the names on.
Mhm.
I'm not that crafty, so I did this binder with a picture and name.
So the next question about her stuff, she's been doing this, since she was a kid, she started collecting this stuff?
Yeah, she talked about that first doll was that creepy Shirley Temple doll that
Mhm.
the eyes darted around at her.
So if you look on Facebook, guys, if you're into doll collecting and that sort of stuff, she's got a Facebook page called Creepy Dolls, I think it
Yeah,
is.
creepy dolls and the paranormal.
And so there's more to it than just the dolls, but the dolls have kind of become the focus a lot of all this stuff. The same with this guy here. He's belonged to different paranormal research
Yeah.
groups, and he's not solely attached to dolls, but that's a big thing.
Yeah, I've got
To
Halloween
him.
paintings and cobbler stand and jewelry box, and ring.
What?
And yeah, I got a ring that was sent to me from England. A lady didn't even ask for anything. So I just want to ship it to you. You want somebody to keep it safe.
Is it on
It was
it?
a woman she knew who was a medium who claimed that when she wore it, she could see spirits better.
Well, see, I don't want to be a
And,
medium. I want to be complete.
you know, you want to be large.
You know,
At this point,
Sharice's
that's
house, I kept smelling cigarette smoke.
Yeah, and she talked about the original owner smoked a pipe in that house,
Mhm.
and they found that pipe.
Oh boy, yeah, I never smelled it,
It
never
was
smelled
just like
Yeah.
overwhelming.
and my nose is very sensitive to smoke. Cigarettes.
I smelled it on prior visits. I mentioned that
Mhm.
that I'd smelled just for a little bit. It lasted several seconds. I smelled pipe tobacco, and then it went away.
Because I asked you if your mom smoked because it was so
Yeah, I was
strong.
talking about her, and
I
she
don't,
never
the only thing that was paranormal to me is I saw a lollipop that smelled bacon.
yeah. It was
No, but
bacon a
that
lot.
music, and you thought it was coming from my phone. My phone
Yeah, I
was
thought
on
it
my
was
right
interesting.
side, and that music was in my left ear, and that was freaky. And it lasted for 45 seconds or so. It lasted for a little
Yeah,
bit.
maybe 30 seconds, something like
It
that.
did not just go and then like a notification. It was like
Whole bar of something like that. And
there's no way. I mean, you can look at the videos that we made and you can see, get a feeling for what this room. But until you're sitting there in that room,
yeah,
it is a sight to behold. And like I said, I've never been in your main room, dolls, so I don't know how yours compares. But I don't think you.
compares. But I mean, you know, I've got a vintage bassinet like she does. It's got the dolls piled in, you know, standing up in their pose.
Uh-huh.
I got one corner's got a bunch of tall ones standing, and then some over here on this other side. There's bookcases with them on it, and
Mhm.
you know, on the shelves, and I've got a large marionette clown. Well, not marionette. He sits on a swing that hangs there, and there
Oh,
when you
yeah,
first
yeah.
walk in.
Mhm.
He's got a little smile on his face, but
Well, I have seen
he's
it.
very friendly.
And we're talking about doing a documentary about you and Cherie and all the
Yeah.
dolls. That'd be fun, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all can go through. Maybe you can come over and visit you sometime, see your stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause you've been over there several times, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, are you a Walking Dead fan?
I watched the first 5 seasons nonstop, and I just kind of, a lot of the characters I liked were killed off, and then I was like, every time they get rid of one a-hole, another one comes along. And it's like, that's why I should have been called the Walking A-holes, because it's always about some jerk and his or her group come on trying to steal from the good people. Every once in a while, zombies come staggering in, they slice them up. And, you know, I said, it's just same old, it's predictable. So I stopped watching until season 10, and when a favorite of mine joined the cast, Thor Birch.
So
And,
somebody you already knew.
yeah, so I started watching a little bit more than I did. Well, I did tune in a little bit when Negan started and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That was interesting. I think he's been the worst villain they've had, maybe.
Mm.
That's my opinion. Other people might say different, but yeah.
Well, after we went and saw Alexandria, I went and watched some clips from some old episodes, just to,
Yeah.
you know, and that Alexandria has been used since the first few seasons. I remember that.
I want to say, yeah, no later than season 3, I
Mhm.
guess. The first season and into the second, they come around the town. There's Samoya, or Samoya, whichever one it is. And yeah, when I first went out there, I recognized the bed outside the bed and breakfast that I stayed in there. I saw they filmed some outside there in the street and the we drove when I visited her one time. We went another direction, so you could see the railroad. They filmed a lot of railroad scenes where it's out in the woods, nothing but trees on each side, away from the town. They've used that a lot. But yeah, it's amazing. Now when you watch it on TV, it looks so, Alexandria looks so, out there in the wilderness.
Right.
Right there's the town.
Well,
It's
it's
too-
pointed out in one video I watched that these towns are supposed to be so far apart,
Mhm.
but that same water tower that's in Sonoya, you can see it if you pay attention from within Alexandria in the film.
Yeah,
You know,
can
they
see
didn't conceal it. It's like, oh, it's right there. But you do get a different sense of it. It's amazing how they make things feel the way they
Yeah.
produce these movies. And yeah, I didn't know what to expect when we went there. And what amazed me is Saturday was not the most beautiful day. And there were tourists all over the place. That guided tour thing, he must have had like 30 people following him around.
Yeah, the walking tour.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, this place is that popular. They just, even on during the middle of the winter, rain and all that, and all these people are here.
Mhm.
But I'm like her, that deal down in that basement, that was fun.
Yeah, props.
Lucille.
Yeah. I like they have the actual doors from season 1.
Yeah.
Don't open dead inside from
Should
the
have locked
hospital.
you up in a jail cell, though.
Ah,
You would look natural in there.
oh, really?
Busted for bad bookkeeping.
Bad bookkeeping.
I haven't even developed my pictures yet from that.
Dolls, and more dolls. So just on the doll, that creepy dolls from Paranormal, and I see people posting pictures of these dolls all the time, little video clips and whatnot.
Mhm.
Over 3,500 people on that group.
Yeah.
And that's after she shut it down one time and had to open up another one. she
Yeah.
said.
Yes, she did. Yeah, this one's called Creepy Dolls and Paranormal Experience is the current one.
Yeah. So you can find that, and if you're into this kind of stuff, you can join and be nice because there's a lot of people over there. It's kind of like a safe thing, like what we do. The reason this all started, unfortunately, you can't go out in public and just all the time, like, oh yes, I'm into creepy dolls. People look at you like, oh, get away from me.
I do have it linked on myhauntedDolls.com. If you don't find it, searching for which you should be easy to find. But if not, I got it linked on my website in the link page.
The Facebook page.
Yeah,
Okay.
and go on myhauntedDolls.com on my website, and I've got the Facebook page link.
Now, he was talking about he's got even a haunted painting, and of course, that brings us to his latest book.
Crimson, the blood painting.
Clickbait.
Only for
So
elephants.
anyway, tell us about the painting and the book, and that was the painting I saw in your house.
Yes, the painting is from. I keep wanting to say Selma. It's from Salem, Massachusetts.
From Selma, man.
Salem, Massachusetts, where the home of the witchcraft, American witchcraft. But it did hang in the home of a practicing witch who passed away, and the lady who was executor, I guess, let me know it was available, which I got a pretty good deal on it, considering it's an old painting from right after the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the lady in the portrait. They don't have her name, but the painting was called Lady in Mourning because it's of a lady with her mourning dress on, her hair pulled up, mourning her loved one, either husband or lover who died in the Civil War. And I don't know if her spirit's connected. They believe that because she used it to, a lot of her items to help be conduits for her spirit she liked to conjure. They felt that probably all those items were still haunted. So they want to get into the right places. And
Right.
I got, in fact, it's really cool. I've got it on my YouTube. I did the spirit box with that painting. And, well, early in the video, before I even pointed to the painting, you hear a male voice saying, Crimson, Crimson. And then when I got to it, pointed up, again, it came back, Crimson.
Where
And,
did you get this done? Where'd you get that painting?
The painting, it came from Salem, Massachusetts, from the lady who was executor over the witch's estate.
And you ended up.
And I ended up with it. So I got it directly
And
from
it's on his wall. It's a creepy looking picture. I mean, the cover of the book is the picture, and it is creepy as it looks on the book.
So the book I based mainly on that. A little bit on the other painting I had over there, the brighter one, Hilda, but mostly on the Crimson painting, I call it, since it has responded to Crimson now.
And the Crimson book is also now in audio.
Yes, but the book is about a man and his little daughter in a suburban neighborhood, and they find this mysterious painting outside their door and don't know where it came from or who left it there. And he's got a girlfriend who's an antique person and he thinks, well, she'd probably think I'm crazy if I throw this away, so he hangs it up in the house and keeps it. Strange things start happening. And it turns out that this thing has shown up in prior homes where murders have happened. And the witch uses it to get to your soul and to possess you and cause you to sacrifice your children or your children to sacrifice you, whichever she wants to do. And it all goes back to when she was killed for a crime she didn't commit, and she cursed everything that she owned. Well, mainly that painting, her image.
So have you had any, I know you said you did EVP spirit box work with painting. Have you had any strange or any interesting things?
No, I don't feel negative when I go by.
He never is. But see, he's like me. He's evil, attracted, you know.
No, I was
He claims to be Christian. He's really, he is really a Satanist.
And I pray over my house every night.
He says, "Oh, Satan's Diablo."
No, I say it in the name of Jesus, Lord Father in heaven. And I'm not sure
he didn't. You know, go to his room. He's got all these dolls in his bedroom. What you don't see unless you look behind his door is a big pentagram.
No pentagrams in my house.
It has holy water.
I got holy water.
I
got sage in there.
Got the UN in front of it.
UN.
Holy water.
The UN in it.
Incense.
I love incense. It smells good when I burn.
Is that the kind of incense you got?
No, this is the frankincense and myrrh.
I have the frankincense and myrrh oils.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you've got any interesting things that's going on with haunted objects of any sort, Kevin would like to hear about it. Wouldn't you, Kevin?
Yes, myhauntedolls.com. And if you want to send, if you have something you want to get rid of and want to send it, if you want to message me on there, and I've got the PO box set up.
And also, we do this pretty much every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. We are going to have to cut it a little bit shorter than what we've been doing because of where we are. They want to secure this building earlier. But you're free to call in at any time. And if you've got a story or questions to ask, what number should we give them?
888.
888-501-6689, extension 2. And then we can listen to your story. If you have a haunted object that you want to shed from your presence, we'll take it from you because we're strange. Well, he is.
We have a lot of haunted items. I have a haunted chair.
So years ago,
I got a haunted chair.
you've been to Okaba?
So our team went before I joined, so I haven't been down there yet. But Kim and them investigated around there and got some pretty awesome stuff.
Well, years ago, after I'd lost all my family, I minimized my life and I bought a houseboat. and kept it on the Hiawassee River where I lived on it for some time. And I went to Okahapa. I was going around doing some adventures. And there's one section that overlooks the river there that just right on the surface, the only remnants of this Civil War prison are some bricks laying around. And you can tell that if you dug, there's a bunch more bricks. So, you know, I grabbed one of the bricks and took it off. And some people would say that's why my boat sank.
I have a feather from there.
Did you ever get it from the vehicle?
Yeah, it's in my vehicle.
Okay. So, you know, you collect a few things. Now, I'm not as superstitious as you are. He's very superstitious. So I'm not convinced that the brick made my boat sink. It's a color tornado that made it.
Yeah, I try to take things from haunted places unless I have good permission to.
I had permission.
Yeah.
Oh, great spirit. There was nobody else around. Oh, great spirit, may I take a brick? And the brick just showed up in my hand.
Oh, and then,
Like that.
well.
I was walking around the graveyard and it makes me angry. People are stealing all the little fleur-de-lis off of there and everything. There was one loose, so I had to tighten it up.
Mm-hmm.
I had to tighten it.
She tightened it up to where it ended up in her pocket.
No, I did not. I
And she
did
wonders
not.
why she's sick.
I tightened it up to where, and I made sure that I told them so that they could go up there and weld it together because I was so afraid somebody was going to steal it too.
You've got to go to Abnormal Alabama, and one of the more recent videos is Afternoon with Kevin Kane and Cerise Shroom. And it took place at her house with all these dolls, and these guys told stories. Believe it or not, I didn't talk much. I know it's hard to believe.
Which was shocking.
Mhm. But they had interesting stories, and Kevin had his own stories, like he shared, from sleeping in that room with all these dolls. Now, this girl has started collecting a few dolls. It's kind of like an addictive thing, isn't it? I mean, you look on it, and you end up, and I know you bought a lot of dolls, but you've also had a lot gifted to you, haven't you?
Yeah, most of them have been gifted or.
He gets that, it's calling to you.
Nah.
And Cerise so big hearted, it's like,
No. Did she talk about Chaz, one of those play
I don't remember Chaz.
out dolls that were
The only Chaz I know is Cher's son.
the one that
Used to be hard.
you said looked like Chucky, and it is the one they modeled Chucky
Oh,
after.
there's two of them.
Yeah,
she
there's
had.
two of 'em.
Yeah.
One of them is Chaz, and before she got him, he was already on YouTube. Somebody caught video of him. They had him on the bed, and his head moved by itself. And boy, she got in touch with that guy because he was wanting to get rid of him. She was like, I'll please him again. You know, she lucked out and got it. And she said when she got it home, it wasn't long after she was going to bed, she kept dreaming about Chaz. And she woke up and saw him, his apparition, heard him, he was just screaming at her. And she didn't know what was going on. And he just kept screaming. And she finally, I guess he gave her a feeling of something wrong with her, one of her children. He was trying to get her out of bed. So she gets up, goes to check on her daughters, and lo and behold, her youngest one's in with 104 fever. And so she loves Chaz because he helped her know, hey,
So
something's
you ain't
wrong
gonna
with
get rid of
your
Chaz. You don't even get a Chaz.
No, she's not gonna get rid of Chaz. She's
I don't
growing
care
up
how
with
much.
him.
I don't care how much Chaz calls after you.
She's snuggled with him on the bed before she loved. That's her pal. So no.
Yeah.
But people, when they saw that video of him moving, they're thinking Chucky evil. No, he's a very good protective spirit.
This is Chucky's real nice twin.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of Caroline moving?
I still hadn't seen have y'all done a clip of it out there?
She has.
Where
Got
is
it
it?
up there.
I say a cuss word on it. It's
He
on
don't.
my
He don't. He don't pay
On
attention.
your Facebook page?
He doesn't.
Which
You didn't
one
put
is
it on Abnormal Alabama?
Okay,
You didn't
I'll
put it
go
on
back to-
Abnormal Alabama?
So that's what I was looking for. I didn't see it. I'll
You
go
gotta
back
share
there.
it.
I thought I did.
Well, you told him on your.
I kept looking for it on the YouTube page, and I didn't see it.
Well, she don't. She's selfish with herself. She does not do it. She's very possessive and selfish.
I ain't gonna tag me in, and I'm going to look at it.
So what
I don't
did
wanna
Cherie
see
ever
it.
make a comment about your moving dolls in that little clip that I shared? She shared it.
Yeah, I think she did put a comment out there.
She shared it too.
She shared
Yeah.
it.
Boy, that helped propping the door open. It was cooking in here.
Yeah, but it ain't freezing like outside.
Oh, it's cold in that lobby. Frankly, and I've been friends for a year.
Oh.
We miss you, Frank.
You may miss him. I don't miss him.
Oh, crap.
All right, let's see. Did she put it on her page or Creepy Dolls? Let's see.
She put it on Creepy Doll.
Well, here it is. She got it on here. Wait, no, that was your share. Um,
Oh, okay. We got Norma Ray is watching us here. Norma Ray. Hello, Norma
Hey,
Ray.
Norma.
Do we know Norma Ray?
I don't know Norma Ray.
We know Norma Ray now. Thanks for joining in with us.
I know the Norma Ray in that movie, the one that started the union. But
We've
That was
got,
Sally Field.
you know, we need to do this at your place in that room. See, I've got this thermal camera. To sit in there with this thermal and see if we get anything off these dolls. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Have you ever done that there?
not with a third. Now, well, now,
You see what I'm talking about?
yeah, I see. Is that an app on there? Or?
I've got the camera
Oh, yeah.
and it works with the app on here, but the camera itself is
Oh,
separate.
that's- okay. Yeah, there's the post. She didn't comment.
Yeah, well, she commented on what I posted.
Oh, okay.
Is that on what side?
That's on Creepy Doll.
Okay, on Creepy Dolls, you can feel free to go join her as well. She's got a big following over there. That would be neat. I just didn't think about that. Listen, we're gonna go spend the evening with him. Hello. See this?
Yeah.
Turn out the lights. We're gonna do a thermal camera EVP spirit box session with his dolls
Okay.
with the thermal camera, so we can detect things at the naked eye.
You gotta be good and be believing.
I believe. I believe. Do you believe? I believe.
Kim Johnston brought her thermal a few years ago and tried it and didn't catch anything on
So-
it, but you never know.
All right. So,
You know, sometimes, certain times of the year it gets more activity. For some reason in February, I start hearing more noises.
yeah, we've been doing this Tuesday night thing for almost a year now,
Mhm.
and we've only missed maybe 3 nights or so. We've been pretty consistent with this, haven't we?
Yeah.
You're getting closer on your subscriptions on YouTube.
Yeah.
How close are you now? We got to get him some more. Can we entice him with
I
something?
can smell
What are
coffee on
you
my sweater.
doing?
That coffee's dripping out on my sweater.
It's
How dare you?
better than dropping it on a white t-shirt.
Yeah. Now, what was out here with that? You distracted me.
No, your coffee distracting you.
Actually,
My Haunted Dolls, Kevin Kane on YouTube, and you do have to put the Kevin Kane part in there because other people
yeah,
have
there's
stolen
other
the Haunted
people that
Dolls.
put in.
But subscribe to his channel. He's getting real close to the number he needs.
Yes. I got 980, so 20 more.
Wow, you've come a long way.
Yeah.
Just 20 more. Wait, is there a prize that we can give somebody for being
I
the
could
1,000th?
I could give a book.
He will give, what book you gonna give?
I can do my haunted collection. Most
Oh,
people
look
like
at
that.
that, the cover of that book alone. Can you imagine
Yeah,
that on your
it's got
coffee
the-
table?
It's got the doll from the Island of the Dolls that I have.
That's
So-
cute.
He only needs, folks, 20 more subscribers. And so the 1,000th person that subscribes, is there a way to know who that is when they subscribe?
I don't
Yeah, you'll
know.
get a notification when you get a subscriber, right?
Yeah, I'll just have to look and get it. You
So
know,
make
to the right
sure,
person.
you know, that when you subscribe, go to one of the videos and say, hey, I'm here. But anyway, the 1,000th gets, I think you have to give like one of each of his books away, but he's stingy, so he's.
Hey, well, what? And look at the cost, the shipping, all that.
He's been pushing hard for a long time to get 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is when he and I both started with YouTube, they didn't have that rule. And then they popped that on us.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just 20 away.
Yeah, I remember when I was trying to do live, and I didn't go to Marshall House last year. It would let me go live, and it would cut out
Yeah, we're in the process, yeah.
and freeze up and jammed up my whole thing. And
Hmm.
then that's when they first started cutting it out.
So,
I tagged you in it. I tagged you
Oh,
in
okay.
Caroline.
so anyway, yeah, subscribe, My Haunted Dogs, Kevin Kane, YouTube, he's right there, man, I've seen him go from, I think when we first started, you didn't even have 900 on there. You were 890
It
something.
was, yeah, 880, 890.
Yeah.
So it's almost 100 more.
Man, that's awesome. So this Tuesday night.
Since then.
So come on, guys, put the word out there, subscribe to his channel, hit the little bell up there so you know when he's all time posting stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna post
Some of it's not worth
the
watching, but
Walking
some of
Dead
it is.
video. Oh, come on.
He did a live stream,
Yeah, I need to post that on the YouTube.
and I had fun with it with that too.
Yeah, live stream.
We live streamed each other.
I noticed you edited some of, like, a lot of the back of my head wound up on the editing floor, I guess.
Well, did you want me to show my
You know, I have to shut back my head.
You were in that video. I wasn't never in the video. Never once was I in the video.
I was never in the video,
You didn't even hear me say much.
but not yours.
It was Cherie talking
And you,
and me.
and Kevin, this is
Hey,
my dog.
hey.
I think you just put that on Abnormal Alabama Facebook.
Yes.
Sweet Haunted Caroline.
Yes.
We got a clip where she moved on
TikTok.
camera.
Please forgive my language.
So that is the two very distinct things we've caught on camera with our dogs. Not stink, but distinct.
This thing.
Distinct. So that's great.
Yeah.
He's watching that now. He wants to see Caroline.
What?
Where's her head?
It's off of Instagram. It'll come on there in just a
okay,
minute.
you gotta push the button or something. Tap on.
Oh, you know what? I need to just go to Instagram app,
Go Instagram.
pull it up.
I didn't know how to tag you on Instagram. I'm not very familiar with Instagram.
I think you just hashtag. No, you put at and the name on there.
Yeah.
The
Instagram.
there it is.
I said
Here
every
it
word
is.
because it's kind of startling me.
Well, I got the volume down. Should I?
You might want to keep the volume
Okay.
down.
Well,
There
she
it
just says a few choice words, nothing. You don't have to worry
I use the F word.
Was it her head?
So we're trying to see this doll move here on, she had on Instagram, but she also shared it. Is this the one? Crypticon Radiohead? No, what am I looking at? Okay. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Oh,
Oh, there it went.
where?
Is that kind of like she did that?
Yeah.
That's it. I saw it. Oh.
And I said, about that time when I realized what she did, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we're.
I wish they had.
What did she say?
I said a bad word. It was the F word.
The one thing about Instagram videos, they don't let you rewind and everything.
And they will allow you like 30 seconds.
Do you ever play with TikTok?
I need to get on there. I
That
see
is a
all this-
fun, neat little
There's
app.
paranormal videos on TikTok.
Have you
There's-
seen some of the stuff I do on there? Just having fun with it.
I hadn't. I've seen on YouTube where they've done. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there. Top 10 TikTok paranormal captures. There was. There was one TikTok where a girl was doing a little dance in the
Oh,
background.
gosh,
You see
yeah.
a shadow go by the door.
Funny
And she
thing-
swore she was all alone.
My haunted the cemetery, the dead children's playground, has 646 likes on TikTok, and Paul Halsey has 553 likes on a video of the Crypticon that I did.
Oh, really? So there, my years ago, I did a video about the history of the marriage license. And I ran across it on YouTube, just flipping through my channel early this morning. It's got like 9,000 hits on it, all about just explaining the history of the marriage license. So you never know what's going to catch on, but I mean, you know, people's interest in stuff, right? So you got anything else you want to share with us here? Dude. What do you got going?
Who, me?
Yeah, talk
What
to
else
us,
is
bro.
going
Talk
on?
to us. Tell us something.
I guess at some point, I don't know, I had already started working on and to get back to working on that was the sequel to my haunted collection. It's called My Haunted Collection, The Dark Side. And it's going to be about the demon. Oh, yeah, I saw that on YouTube. Oh, that's you dancing. He's getting down with his bad self. But it's about
I said support the troops, national soldier.
it's about the items I have that aren't, you know, that don't have the nicest stories. The one that had something demonic attached, I had to bless it, that came from Baton Rouge. The mirror I got out of a client's home that was the portal to something that kept attacking him and his wife.
What the heck is that?
And that's moi. And what else? The doll. I'm going to put the dolls that moved on camera. They're not evil. That's still scary as hell. So I want to put
Evil Knievel.
creepy as hell. So I'm going to put that in there. And there's other things. The clown doll in the case that's flipping the bird now.
See, just keep your children.
Hey.
Keep
It's
your
angry
children
because
away.
it's in the case, and over
Just
time the
keep
middle
your
finger has
children
popped up, and
For
his
the
eyes,
safety and welfare of your children.
his eyes are blazing red. But that doll in the case I've talked about that I had to bless with the holy water. The year before last, when I had Scare of Alabama, Kim Johnson, and all that come over, and Ladarius was there. Something he got next to that doll, was looking at it, kept staring. And he looked right at me with eyes bugging out. I could just see something was wrong.
Was there?
His face, you know, you could see he looked like he was almost in a trance. He's going, "Can I take it home? I want to take it home. Just please let me take it home."
Ladarian?
Yeah. And I said, "No, Darius, you're not going to take that out of here." I said, "Come on, buddy, let's
What's
get you out of the
wrong with
room." And it's like the doll, you know,
Put him in a trance.
was trying to lure him in. That's
So
how they
the
say.
bottom line is, this is at your house.
Yeah.
So here's what I get out of it. You want my honest assessment?
What you gonna say?
That dog going to escape your harem.
No, that dog.
Help me. Get me out of here.
That dog wants your soul.
So
I mean, this.
I think it's all
I've got
got your soul. Do you feel possessed ever?
No,
Are you
I
sure?
believe I cried.
Oh, wait.
And
You look like possible.
I suppose. But yeah, that thing will do it. I mean, she's got this pretty little dainty doll looking at you, and she's got that peaceful expression. It's one of those "don't let it deceive you" kind of things. Makes me think a lot of what Annabelle is supposed to be. That, you know, demonic attachment that lures you in. I remember Lorraine Warren was like, "I will not look at that doll. I can't look at it because it's too."
So anybody that's watching this either live or even later on as it's archived on these sites that we're broadcasting to, what I would like is your opinions as you've seen some of the stuff we put out there and you hear the stories we tell. Do you think dolls are really haunted? Do you think they're attached to something?
I do.
Do you think it's just his imagination?
I think all dolls do.
Just it's interesting to get other people's opinion as to what they think you want to know.
Like Sheree said, even there's some of hers that are just dolls. Some have something with it. Some are just dolls that she's collected.
Yeah.
Some of mine, I don't think, are have an attachment.
Well, if all of hers had attachments, God, we come on.
Party.
You'd go in there and her house would be torn up.
You hear music there, and all these feet.
That music, but that music thing was freaky. It's like, what? I thought, because I've got one of these. She's got a real nice washer dryer set, and the real nice one when they go through a certain cycle and they stop, they'll let you know, but the
Yeah.
plane just goes.
Yeah, the chime.
And that's what I thought it was initially, because we were just a few feet away from our washer dryer room. And then I thought, and it went on. It wasn't like it just a real quick thing. It lasted longer than any notification from our phone or anything like that. And unfortunately, I don't return my camera off.
It's always when you don't have something on, that's when they start playing, and then you turn that camera on and they'll
Well,
drain that battery or just not do anything.
We have caught a couple of things with the dolls, and you've caught some EVP spirit box stuff.
Yes.
Some pretty phenomenal. Early on, when we were back in the office, he did one night showing his audio clips, and some of them are very distinct. You don't have to guess. It's like, shut up, Kevin. I mean, there's no guesswork to it. It's very clear.
Are really freaky. There's that one. I'm trying to talk to the spirit with the cobbler stand, and a female voice says, "Come here," out of the spirit box. And then there was another one I had posted that was a flat out EVP without the spirit box. I was trying to see. I was in the bedroom seeing if I could get Robin to respond on just regular EVP.
Mm-hmm.
And when I played it back, before I asked, "Is Robin here?" There's a male voice behind me goes, "No, she's not." And I think it's the same one I picked up on that video last month when I was filming my cat looking scared, and I said, "What do you see? What do you see?" And you hear a male voice right behind me, "What?" And then he answered my question, "You." When I was asking, "What do you see?" And somebody said, "I don't know what I'm looking for. What am I supposed to hear?" Well, it's captioned. Where it's captioned, that's where the voice.
So we're still having our fundraiser, and I will post more about that later. But we're trying to raise funds to get him inside one of these 3D scanners, because we want to make a bobbleheaded doll out of him, so he can spend eternity with his doll. So when he passes off the scene, we'll have a little Kevin doll,
A bobblehead.
bobblehead.
Not a distinguished
Well, we're gonna give you a little bobblehead,
figurine. It's gonna be a bobblehead.
because he's so conceited. He would like to see himself as he drives down the road, little head bobbling back and forth.
I want a bobblehead doll.
Well, we all should have little Kevins on our dashboard. Some people say, Jesus is my co-pilot. We'll say, Kevin is my co-pilot.
A bobblehead.
He is a saint, after all. We still have some minutes left. We're
Oh,
close
it's
to
already
8:30.
11 after 8.
Yeah,
Great.
we've had fun, right?
Yeah.
We always have fun.
We always have to.
No.
We learned about Sarah. We had a great Saturday. I know Kevin didn't enjoy it, but we had a good time. And Sarah here has fuzz all over her dress. You need to clean her up.
That's velvet. Oh, it's not.
Look at this.
Oh, that is kind of. That's cat hair. That's another reason I keep the door closed, because there's
Crap me up.
cat hair floating in here.
That was funny the way she did that.
He's like, she's not that.
I
Oh.
didn't see the front.
You know, why are you looking at butt all the time?
I'm not looking at her butt. I'm looking at the stand to make sure she's all the way from Scotland. She's Scottish.
I get concerned about
Sarah.
Kevin sometimes, his dogs. He gets a little weird with them.
How many do you have now?
I got 300 and something. I
You never
lost count of
inventory?
200, and that was last time I'm back in Canada was a little over 200, and that was a year and a half past, and there was
So
more.
you got Sweetheart
And-
Caroline in your other room, and they're locked up in a box. Do you ever hear anything, noises coming out of
I
there?
hadn't heard a thing, and my cat goes in there, she'll sniff around the box, but then she'll move on, and nothing's happened. There's no knocks in there. Let me out. You know, there's no.
I've got several of them in there.
Yeah, there's some in there with her.
Oh, you packed some dogs.
Yeah.
in there.
I packed all the ones that were in the chair in there with her.
Kept them in there mainly to keep Maddie away. But the one that you gave me, that little crown looking thing with the ribbon hanging, I had to put that in the cabinet because I came home, Maddie had pulled it off,
I
but
think
she didn't tear it up.
Spirit played with it too.
Uh-huh.
She loved it too. I was constantly having to pick it up, put it back, and
Mhm.
pick it up, put it back. Spirit Kitty's doing good.
That's good.
She got
She got any
fixed.
bigger?
No, she is still tiny as all get out.
Yeah.
She has not grown any since.
You get her
she was
declawed or
on.
anything?
No, I just got her fixed. I don't believe in decalling.
I think, you know, they're, it's not a good thing.
No, there are times it gets
Brett,
real tempting when they're scratching the door of
Oh, that one door jam. You
I feel that a long time ago, repainted, she tore it right back up. So now
What you
wait
need to do is get a piece of metal and put it
when she's old and decrepit, I'm gonna fill it back in.
there.
there's no sense in doing it right now.
How old is
Yeah.
she?
She'll be 7 in July.
Oh, she's only
6.
half her age.
And yeah,
Yeah, she's got
well,
about
house
7
cats
years.
live longer because they stay healthier when they're
Yeah,
indoors.
well, I don't know with you.
Yeah, she might get early gray hairs and all this.
You know, I'm not a big cat person.
Mhm.
You're not a small cat person either.
Well,
Yeah.
Spirit kind of made me like cats. Well, now, not only is Spirit my cat, Oreo, my daughter's cat, has got to where she stays right up under me. She sleeps with me every night. And she's not a little cat. She's a huge cat. And then one of these new little kittens will come up with me, and it's decided that I'm its mama now.
So speaking of these cats, your pets can seemingly, I understand, detect things that you cannot detect.
Yes.
Do you ever catch your cat staring and
The dog.
Yeah.
something really, not a dog, just something not there, nothing, and it's just staring. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the video I talked about, when my cat was she kept doing this, like something was moving back and forth behind me.
Gosh.
And no, she was scared. Look, now does she get up there and start trying to
Yeah.
play with it? But
I don't know
she
what,
was
I know what,
crouched, and then I turned on the camera, and that's when I caught the male voice behind me. And but I've seen her get up on the conflict and be looking like she's looking at somebody, and she'll paw at the air. And there was that one time when she was a kitten, about 6 months after I got her. She was only 2 months old when I got her. And about 6 months later, she was still growing up, and she kept wanting to get in that fireplace because there's little rocks in there she could slide out with her paw. And the fireplace was on, and she was going toward it. And I saw her when she got right up to it. I jumped up and was about to holler, Manny! All of a sudden, she lifted up. All 4 of her paws came off the floor. As somebody picked her up, pulled her backwards, and dropped her, and she took off running.
oh man.
And I was like, whoever that was, thank you.
Well, dogs will do strange things too, but not quite as effectively as a cat does. But a dog will bark at nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cats, I think, are more sensitive than dogs.
Well, here's what's weird is when the cats and the dogs
Both see something.
are both seeing whatever's over there, like whatever's in the corner of the room, and that's annoying.
Does Cherie ever talk about that with her pets?
I hadn't talked to her about that.
I mean, to me, that's an interesting thing because they seem to sit. We know that I think dogs' hearing is more sensitive. They have a wider range. If you had a dog whistle, we can't hear a dog whistle, but a dog can.
Vision too. They got night. They got
Well, cats,
natural night vision.
I know, and cats, they don't care if the light's on or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got it. But we have limited vision. Our senses are limited. We think, oh, look at this. I can see in colors. Like you don't really see all the colors, and you don't see the full spectrum.
Some of us see more colors than others.
Yeah.
Well, when somebody hits me upside the head, I see a lot more colors. But fascinating stuff. And so this, let's see, how much time we got? About 13 minutes or so. You got any more stories you want to share with me?
I don't know.
We're tired. He wore us out. Then he had his big birthday bash. Him and his sister drank Jägermeister, smoked pot.
I did not. Yeah.
I know. He
Jägermeister.
said, I didn't smoke pot, but he drank the Jägermeister.
I didn't hear that. I just drank. We drank sweet tea.
So your sister's not as wild as you are.
No, she used to be. She's a recovering alcoholic. Long time ago, she used to drink a lot. Now
I'm not
she
sure.
doesn't. And I drink every once in a while. Nothing like wine or champagne. That's about it. But
Oh, Brandon's here with us. Brandon, how you doing? I didn't
Brandon, which Brandon?
The Blunt County.
Lee.
Brandon Lee, peace, brother. You know Kevin here, the haunted dog guy. Strange character.
No, that's the strange.
I'm over here.
EVP.
We have fun. They tell some interesting stories. Hopefully, what I'd like to do is plan ahead of time, get Cherie to join us on the phone for next Tuesday night. That'd be pretty neat
Yeah,
because she tells better stories than this one here.
I could recommend, you mentioned at the beginning of the program, the Amazon document, the documentaries.
Oh.
And there is one called The Blackwell Ghost, and now there's 4 parts. There's going to be a part 5. This guy's really taken off. But he filmed, now his is more fictional. They filmed a movie based on some hauntings. But the stuff he catches, it's all, created for the movie.
Mhm.
And he don't try to pass it off but it is really awesome. It's like you're watching a documentary. He and his wife are visiting this haunted house, the Blackwell house, and all these things are footsteps. He catches a figure when he's panning around the room. I recommend this, and that's going more and more. Part 3, he's branched out and he's finding spirits that were victims of a serial killer who are caught, trying to get his attention to help.
Mhm.
And one of them, he actually finds the body based on messages. But I'm excited for part 5. It's just a little Amazon movie series that he does himself with nothing but these cameras and some creative,
Yeah, if Brandon and Lee, if you're still with us, actually, it'd be nice to get him to join us on the phone next week. If you want to, Brandon, message me or Catherine, either one. And if you want to talk to us about Bigfoot, what's going on in Blunt County, any stories you got to share, we'd love to have you on next week.
Blunt County, they got some Bigfoot sightings.
Well, he is the head of that Blunt County Bigfoot research.
That's where I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
so that'd be nice, Brandon, if you could just do that from the comfort of your home. You don't have to go anywhere. And we bring you on with us. That'd be cool, right? So I don't know if he's still listening or not, but yeah, if it's doable, let us know. In fact, we'll message him during the week to find out. Well, this is a little bit, just 30 minutes shorter than normal because we're in between. We had to move out of the building we were in, and where we're going is not quite ready for us. And these people here have very kindly given us permission to use this room here. But first couple of times we did it here, we did our regular till 9 o'clock thing. But the thing is, they close their doors, and we don't want to inconvenience them because they're being so nice to us. Everything we talked about with Cherie and the creepy dolls and all that stuff, got some videos up on Abnormal Alabama. Go over there and enjoy those. He told stories, Cherie told stories, he lied.
I didn't know. He goofed off.
And then I think all you guys also posting all your stuff on Abnormal Alabama pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to make him an admin so he don't have to have approval when he posts. He's one of us,
One of us.
Abnormal.
He's one of us.
So anyway, My Haunted Dolls on YouTube. He's only 20 subscribers away from the number he needs. Put the word
I
out.
can do live.
Even if you don't like him, just subscribe and ignore him. Okay, he just needs to know, right?
Yeah, I mean.
And if you do like him, all the better. He puts out quite a bit of stuff, and so do him that favor, please. Also, he's got 11 books he's written. Count that, 11 freaking books that he's written. And in that, the last one is Crimson, the Blood Painting. And he let me hold one of the books for about 30 seconds, and I got to read 3 words in it. Those 3 words are pretty powerful. So he's not even. What are you doing? TikToking?
No, I was gonna see if I can get the video from Saturday posted on my YouTube.
Oh, he did some live streaming from The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
And we had a good time. That was a very pleasant day.
I know I've put live streams on YouTube before. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I don't sit here and be on my phone.
Is it on your phone?
Yeah,
You want to show you how to do it? After we get through, I'll show you how to do it real quick.
I did it before. I just had it on there, shared to YouTube.
We're all kind of worn out. I mean, with Martin Luther King's birthday and Big Triple Saturday and his birthday,
Yeah,
him and Martin Luther King were born about the same time. Just a day apart,
yeah.
I guess. Unless do they actually do it on his birthday, or did they screw it up like the President's Day and just lump it all in
I
together?
think they just lump it all in together.
It's always on a Monday.
I think so.
Oh, interesting story. Just on the Martin Luther King thing. A lot of people don't know this, but he's well known for that speech, I Have a Dream.
Yeah, I have a dream.
What people don't know about this speech, I'm going to share with you. He had, of course, written this speech to give out there in front of the Lincoln Memorial at the Capitol, D.C. And so while he's giving a speech, he reaches toward the end of the speech, and he hesitated because what he had written, he all of a sudden thought, this don't sound right. So he hesitated. And one of the females behind him said, Martin, tell him about your dream. So that whole part about I had a dream was not prescriptive.
Yeah.
That was just extemporaneous. Did you know that?
I never
So that most powerful part of his speech just came from his heart. And that's pretty powerful. That was very powerful as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people don't know that.
I have a dream.
I forget the lady's name. She knew him, of course. She was on stage right behind him, and she detected that he hesitated. It's just like her. She's heard me public speak so much she can tell. Nobody else can tell, but she can detect when I'm kind of lost or whatever.
Hesitate when you're talking.
Actually, the funny thing is say it's one of the things that we do all the time. I've got it memorized, and because I write it constantly, and I write the script, so I know word for word what every script says.
But I don't stick to the script.
But he doesn't stick to the script, and it makes me angry sometimes.
Well,
That's not how I wrote it.
when you're in front of a group of people, you kind of play to your audience. And until these people come together, you don't know. But anybody that, like a comedian or any stage performer, can tell you that you feed off your audience.
Yeah.
And this is even true at weddings. Some people are very stiff. I don't care what you do. You can't make them laugh or anything. But when you are dealing with people, Kevin, in your presentation, like you do some presentations, if you can get people to laugh, you own them.
Yeah.
That's the key to it. If I can from there, I can take you anywhere I want to take you. The minute,
Yeah.
and you can feel and see people relax. Once you get them chuckle, it's like, okay, you're mine. Now we're going to enjoy this. And especially at weddings, because it's a very stressful time, and and it's a celebration. I tell them this, it's not a funeral. It's a celebration. So relax, enjoy it. So according to what's going on, I don't stick word for word to the script, and I will deviate. And and if I can make somebody laugh, I'm gonna make them laugh, because it just fits. And it really, because bride and groom are standing there holding hands. Sometimes the groom is just,
The groom is usually crying, and the bride's usually.
Sometimes they repeat their vows after me, I, Bob, take you, Sue, to be my lawfully wedded wife, blah, blah, blah. And I'll tell him, I'll say, okay, Bob, please repeat your vows to Sue. And sometimes the groom's so nervous that he'll look at me and he'll say, hi, Bob, take you, Sue. And I'll stop. I'll say, Bob, you're marrying her, not me. So, if you can get people to chuckle, it makes a big difference. So anyway, okay, I think we're about to wrap it up here. Abnormal Alabama, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please help an old man out.
And an old lady.
And if I'm the oldest one here, they call him sitting in their 40s.
It still looks darn good to me.
Kevin Kane, My Haunted Dogs, YouTube, he only needs 20 more subscribers to hit that magic number on YouTube. Help the guy out. I don't care if you don't like him. Just hit the subscribe button. Even if you hate him, just hit the subscribe button. Walk up and leave him. He's used to people walking up and leaving him anyway.
Hey.
So, but help us out. And if you hadn't joined our group on Abnormal Alabama on Facebook, you certainly want to do that because we share a lot of interesting stories and quirkiness there. And that's where it is, folks. Next week, we're going to either have Brandon Lee join us from Blount County Bigfoot Research, and we can talk about some cryptids. We hadn't done that in a while.
No.
I think since we had Alex on.
Last week we talked about the Russian Yeti. That's
Oh,
about
yeah.
as close as
So that'd be a little fun, and then we'll get Cherie to call in and give us some updates on her house full of wickedness.
But she said, because when she has guests in, sometimes her babies get active.
Yeah. So I guess the dogs don't like some people or get stirred up for some reason. But
Well, they
anyway,
like me. So.
They love me.
everybody likes Kevin. Was it everybody loves Raymond? Everybody loves Kevin. Okay, guys, thank you so much for cutting this off at 8:30 so we can clear out of here and let people lock their doors.
Yes.
Peace and love. Remember, peace and love. I don't know who he worships, but I worship a four-letter word, L-O-V-E. It's all about love. Some people say God is love. I say love is God. So I guess they're about to have a group hug over here.
No.
No, I was coming to say goodbye.
All right. Oh, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go.
Okay.
All right. You need to get the words of that song. We'll do it. Good night,
Got a
folks.
little bit of coffee.
You spare your coffee?